Before we begin, I want you to put everything aside for the next few minutes. Put down your phone if you're holding it. Close any other tabs if you're at a computer. Find a comfortable position. You can lie down if that feels right, or sit in a chair that supports you well. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. We're going to take a journey together. Not just an intellectual journey, but a journey inward to a place where your deepest healing lives. And we're going to use something that probably feels uncomfortable right now. Those people who trigger you most as our guide. Close your eyes if you feel safe doing so. If not, just soften your gaze and let your vision relax. Now, bring to mind someone who really gets under your skin. You know who I'm talking about. That person whose very presence makes your jaw clench, whose voice makes your shoulders tense, whose behavior makes something inside you want to scream or run away. Don't judge yourself for having this reaction. Don't try to be spiritual about it or tell yourself you should feel differently. Just notice what happens in your body when you think of this person. Breathe into whatever you're feeling. Can you feel it? That tightness somewhere in your chest, maybe? Or a knot in your stomach? Perhaps a heat rising up your neck. Maybe your hands want to make fists. This is your body speaking to you. This physical reaction is information. It's showing you exactly where something inside you is asking for attention, asking for healing. Stay with these sensations for a moment. Don't try to fix them or change them. Just be with them like you would sit with a friend who's upset. With curiosity, not judgment. Now, take another deep breath and let's go deeper. That person who triggers you so intensely, they're not really the problem. I know that might sound impossible right now, especially if they've done things that genuinely hurt you. But stay with me in this space of exploration. That person is functioning like a mirror. They're reflecting back to you something that lives inside you, something that needs your attention, your compassion, your healing touch. Let's explore this gently. Think about what specifically this person does that triggers you most. Is it their arrogance, their neediness, their controlling behavior, their victim mentality, their aggression, their passivity? Whatever it is, hold that behavior in your mind like you're holding a delicate object. Now, I want you to do something that might feel strange. I want you to look for that same quality somewhere inside yourself. Not the exact same behavior, but the same energy, the same essence. If they're controlling, where do you try to control things in your life? If they're arrogant, where do you have hidden arrogance? If they're needy, where do you have unmet needs that you try to hide? This isn't about judging yourself. This is about understanding why this particular person has such power over your emotional state. breathe into whatever you're discovering. The part of them that triggers you is speaking to a part of you that you've probably rejected, denied, or tried to hide from the world, maybe even from yourself. Let's go even deeper now. Imagine you could travel back in time to a younger version of yourself. Maybe you're 7 years old, or 12, or 15. You're in a situation where you needed something, maybe acceptance, or safety, or love, and you didn't get it. In that moment, you made a decision about who you had to be to survive, to be loved, to be safe. Maybe you decided you had to be perfect, or invisible, or helpful, or tough. And in making that decision, you pushed away a part of yourself. You said to some aspect of your being, "You're not okay. You're not safe. You need to hide." That person who triggers you now, they're displaying the very quality you rejected in yourself all those years ago. If you decided you had to be perfect, then messy, chaotic people will trigger you. If you decided you had to be invisible, then loud, attention-seeking people will trigger you. If you decided you had to be helpful, then people who take without giving will trigger you. Can you sense this connection? Can you feel how your trigger is actually pointing you toward a lost part of yourself? Breathe with this understanding. That trigger you feel, it's not really anger at them. It's grief for the part of yourself you had to abandon. It's the cry of an aspect of your being that wants to come home. Now, let's do some healing. I want you to imagine that younger version of yourself, the one who had to make that difficult decision about who to be. See them clearly in your mind's eye. What did they need in that moment that they didn't get? Love? Safety? Understanding? Permission to be themselves? Now, imagine your current self approaching that younger you with infinite tenderness. You have the power now to give them what they needed then. If they needed love, love them. If they needed safety, wrap them in your protection. If they needed understanding, see them completely and accept them exactly as they are. Tell them, you don't have to hide anymore. That part of you that you thought was wrong or dangerous or too much, it's actually beautiful. It's actually needed. It's actually a gift. Imagine embracing that rejected part of yourself, welcoming it back home. Breathe into this reunion. Feel how something inside you relaxes when you stop fighting against this aspect of yourself. Feel how something settles when you stop judging it and start loving it instead. This is the healing that your trigger was pointing you toward. This is why that difficult person showed up in your life, not to punish you, but to help you find your way back to wholeness. Technical moment. If this inner journey is resonating with you, hit subscribe. It shows that this kind of deep healing work matters. Now, let's continue deeper into this healing space. With this rejected part of yourself welcomed back home, something magical starts to happen. That person who triggered you begins to lose their power over you. Think of them again now, but notice how different it feels. When you're no longer at war with the part of yourself they represent, their behavior doesn't hook you in the same way. You might still prefer not to be around them. You might still choose boundaries, but that intense emotional charge, that feeling of being hijacked by your reaction, that starts to fade. This is because triggers aren't really about the other person's behavior. They're about the resonance between their behavior and your unhealed places. When those places are healed, the resonance stops. It's like tuning forks. When you have an unhealed wound, you vibrate at the frequency of that wound. When someone else acts from their wounds and their frequency matches yours, you both start vibrating together. That's what creates the intense trigger. But when you heal your wound, when you integrate your rejected parts, you stop vibrating at that frequency. The other person's behavior simply doesn't find anything in you to resonate with anymore. Let's practice this new frequency now. Imagine encountering that triggering person again, but from this new place of inner wholeness. See them clearly, but notice how you're observing from a place of centeredness rather than reactivity. You might feel compassion for them, recognizing that they're acting from their own unhealed places. You might feel neutral, simply noting their behavior without taking it personally. You might even feel grateful, knowing that they helped guide you back to a part of yourself you thought you'd lost forever. This is what emotional freedom feels like. Not the absence of feeling, but the presence of choice about how to respond. Breathe into this new possibility. Now, I want you to expand this healing even further. Think about other people who trigger you and notice how they might be pointing to other rejected parts of yourself. Your triggers are like a map of your inner territory, showing you exactly where healing wants to happen. The angry person might be showing you your own unexpressed rage. The selfish person might be showing you where you've abandoned your own needs. The dramatic person might be showing you your own need for attention and validation. Each trigger is an invitation to come home to another aspect of yourself. This doesn't mean you have to like these behaviors in others. It doesn't mean you have to tolerate harmful treatment. But it means you can respond from wisdom rather than wound, from choice rather than compulsion. As you continue to heal and integrate these rejected parts, something beautiful happens in your life. You stop attracting as many triggering people because you're no longer broadcasting the frequencies that call them in. The people who do show up in your life start to reflect your growing wholeness rather than your unhealed wounds. Your relationships become mirrors of your integration rather than triggers for your trauma. And when you do encounter difficult behavior, you can see it clearly without being pulled into reactive patterns. You become a space of healing presence rather than a bundle of activated triggers. Let's anchor this healing now. Place your hand on your heart and feel it beating. This heart has enough love to embrace every part of you, even the parts you thought were unacceptable. Say to yourself, silently or out loud, I welcome all parts of myself home. I release the need to reject any aspect of my being. I am whole. I am integrated. I am free. Feel these words settling into your cells, into your nervous system, into the very fabric of your being. The next time someone triggers you, remember this moment. Remember that they're not your enemy. They're your teacher, showing you exactly where your next level of healing and freedom lives. Take one more deep breath, and when you're ready, gently open your eyes if they were closed. The trigger isn't the problem. The trigger is the medicine. It's showing you the exact prescription for your next level of wholeness. Every person who has ever made you angry, frustrated, or reactive has been a guide pointing you toward the parts of yourself that were waiting to be loved back into existence. The healing happens not when you change them, but when you embrace the part of yourself they're reflecting back to you. If this meditation changed something in you, write in the comments, I welcome myself home. Write it as your commitment to healing through your triggers rather than being controlled by them. Your wholeness is not somewhere you have to go. It's somewhere you have to return to. And your triggers are the breadcrumbs leading you back home. Nobody